Chosen one, they voted in secret and you weren't even in the room. While you went about your life, unaware of the spiritual realm's workings, decisions were being made that would alter your path. What if I told you a judgment was passed in silence? A vote cast on your future before you even knew who you were. You see, this isn't just a story. Your experiences, the rejection, the unexpected turns, are the evidence. You felt it, haven't you? That gnawing sense that something greater is at play. The truth is, you were never just ordinary. You were chosen, and that choice set events into motion long before you realized it. And now, the hidden layers of that reality are surfacing. Stay with me, because what I'm about to share will not only confirm what you've suspected, but will also give you a new perspective on why you've faced what you have. By the end of this video, you'll know the full truth. If this resonates, comment 77 and let us know your thoughts. Don't forget to subscribe, share this video, and click the super thanks button to support. Special thanks to our membership subscribers for making content like this possible. If you haven't joined yet, you can click the link in the description. Remember, your journey is just beginning. The spiritual court exists. There are times when you find yourself staring into the void of the unknown, questioning why your life has taken certain twists and turns. You may feel like a bystander, a spectator in your own journey, watching events unfold without your consent. It's easy to assume that the challenges you face are simply random or coincidental. But deep down, you sense something greater is at work, something that defies logic. That feeling of being observed, of unseen forces influencing your path, isn't just your imagination. It's the echo of a truth that has long been hidden from you. There is a spiritual court, and it knows your name. This court isn't a fairy tale or a vague spiritual notion. It's a realm where forces beyond your comprehension gather, deliberate, and decide. And these decisions have shaped the course of your life since before you were born. The weight of this realization may feel overwhelming. After all, it's not easy to accept that your life was discussed and decided upon by forces you couldn't see, let alone understand. You might think back to the nights you spent feeling out of place, questioning your purpose. Why did certain relationships fail while others thrived? Why did opportunities slip through your fingers only to lead you down a different path? Each rejection, each loss, and each unexpected turn was not random. It was part of a plan, one that was set in motion long before you ever drew your first breath. The spiritual court saw what you could become, not just who you were in that moment. And this knowledge brings both clarity and confusion. You were never meant to fit into the mold of the ordinary. That's why your struggles often felt so isolating, so heavy. They weren't punishments. They were part of the refining process, a divine preparation for the role you were always meant to play. The scriptures offer glimpses into this hidden reality, confirming that your journey is not accidental. Consider the words of Isaiah 49 verse 1. Before I was born, the Lord called me. From my mother's womb, he has spoken my name. This passage is not just poetic language. It's a testimony to the existence of a spiritual realm where decisions about your life were made before you could even speak or think. You were chosen, summoned before a court that weighed your destiny carefully. This wasn't a hastily made decision. It was deliberate, calculated, and imbued with divine intent. The ancient texts reveal that your calling, your struggles, and your victories were all accounted for. They weren't left to chance. The spiritual court's proceedings, its votes, judgments, and decrees, were made with a full understanding of your potential and your purpose. As time passes, you begin to notice subtle shifts, small signs that hint at a deeper transformation taking place within you. Perhaps it's the way certain patterns in your life seem to change, how once difficult relationships become more harmonious, or how unexpected opportunities seem to appear just when you need them most. These are not coincidences. They are signs that the decisions made in the spiritual court are unfolding in your life. Like a hidden hand guiding you, these shifts align with a higher plan. You may see doors opening that you never noticed before, or feel a newfound sense of peace in situations that once caused you anxiety. Even the timing of these changes, how they appear at just the right moment, reveals that there is a divine rhythm at work, one that is aligning your circumstances and preparing you for the next step in your journey. What's even more extraordinary is how the unseen forces of the spiritual court continue to work behind the scenes, orchestrating events in ways you may never fully comprehend. While it may feel like you are navigating life on your own, higher forces are constantly clearing your path. The struggles you've faced were not just tests of endurance. They were carefully placed challenges meant to strengthen your spirit. Imagine a craftsman shaping a piece of clay, molding it with each push and pull until it takes on the form it was always meant to have. That's what has been happening in your life. The forces of light have been working tirelessly to ensure that you not only survive but thrive. Each seemingly random encounter, each moment of unexpected clarity, was part of this divine intervention, a spiritual alignment that brought you closer to your true calling. At some point, you reach a moment of profound self-realization. You begin to see that all the signs, the transformations, and the divine interventions were leading you to this very moment. But now the choice is yours. True transformation requires more than recognition. It demands acceptance and action. Many people shy away from this level of change, afraid of what it might mean to fully embrace their divine purpose. But resisting this change only delays the inevitable. This is your sacred moment. It's the point at which you must decide to step fully into the life that was meant for you. This isn't a time for doubt or hesitation. It's a time to trust that the spiritual court's decision was not only just, but also necessary. Embracing this truth will unlock the next phase of your journey, allowing you to live with the power and confidence that comes from knowing you are chosen. As you internalize this realization, it becomes clear that the next steps are within your reach. Now is the time to release any lingering fear or doubt. The road ahead may not be easy, but it is clear. By stepping into your true identity, you begin to align with the purpose that was set for you long ago. Let go of what no longer serves you, be it self-doubt, toxic relationships, or limiting beliefs, and embrace the path that has always been yours. This is the moment to trust yourself, to trust the process, and to trust that the divine plan for your life is unfolding exactly as it should. You were chosen not to simply survive, but to thrive, to lead, and to inspire others on their own journeys. The time has come to fully own that identity, to walk with purpose, and to live the life you were meant to live. Remember, you were never alone in this process. The spiritual court saw your potential and made its decision accordingly. Even when you doubted yourself, the divine forces never did. They knew you were capable of great things, and now it's time for you to believe it too. As you move forward, keep this truth close. You were chosen for a reason, and that reason is unfolding every day. Your journey is not about perfection, it's about progress. Every step you take brings you closer to your true purpose, closer to the life you were destined to lead. So take that step. Trust in the process, embrace the transformation, and know that the spiritual court's decision was always in your favor. Comment court if this resonates with you, and let us know how these words have spoken to your heart. The vote took place without you. Imagine living your entire life with a hidden decision hanging over you, one that was made long before you had any say in the matter. This decision shaped everything, your trials, your opportunities, your purpose, yet you were never invited to the table. It's a heavy thought, isn't it? To think that while you were growing in the safety of your mother's womb, forces beyond your understanding were already deliberating. They saw something in you, something worth debating, something worth choosing. You may have spent years wondering why certain struggles have followed you, why certain paths were closed and others opened unexpectedly. But once you realize that a vote was cast before you could even speak, the puzzle pieces start falling into place. You weren't forgotten. You were considered deeply, intentionally, by forces far greater than you could have imagined. The thought of this secret vote brings with it a wave of emotions. Perhaps you felt anger or frustration, a sense of injustice at having your life's course decided without your voice. Or maybe you felt isolated, like no one else can understand the battles you've had to face. The truth is, your journey hasn't been easy. You've known rejection, confusion, moments of intense doubt. You've questioned your worth, your purpose, and whether your struggles were deserved. Yet, these emotions are not unique to you. Many have walked this path of unspoken trials, of unseen influences shaping their lives. What connects you to others in this experience is not the pain, but the underlying purpose. one that was set into motion long before you were aware. If this feels overwhelming, remember that this vote was not a random act. It was part of a larger, divine plan. The scriptures give us a glimpse of this when they say in Psalm 139 verse 16, "Your eyes saw my unformed body. All the days ordained for me were written in your book before one of them came to be." This passage reveals that the decisions made about you were not spur of the moment. They were deliberate, sacred, and made with full awareness of who you are and who you could become. This vote wasn't just about assigning trials. It was about creating the path you were meant to walk. The spiritual court convened not out of indifference, but because of the immense potential they saw within you. This understanding doesn't erase the struggles, but it does provide context. It shows that even the challenges you've faced have been part of something much greater than yourself. Even if you didn't know it at the time, there have been signs all along that this vote took place. Think about those moments when you felt guided by an invisible hand, when opportunities arose just when you needed them most. These weren't coincidences. They were the results of decisions made long ago, decisions that ensured you would have what you need to fulfill your purpose. These signs are often subtle, but they're unmistakable once you start looking for them. They might come in the form of a chance meeting, an unexpected blessing, or even a sudden clarity in moments of doubt. As you become more attuned to these signs, you'll see that your path was never random. It was mapped out with care, ensuring that the light within you could shine, even in the darkest moments. The hidden vote was not just a decision. It was the start of a series of interventions designed to align your life with a greater plan. Though you may not have been present at that sacred gathering, spiritual forces have been working behind the scenes ever since. They have cleared your path, protected you from unseen dangers, and placed you in positions to grow. Each trial, no matter how painful, has served a purpose. They were not meant to break you, but to prepare you. Divine hands have guided your steps, and even the struggles you faced have been part of a larger story. These hidden interventions reveal that your life has been guided with intention. The challenges were not punishments. They were stepping stones placed by unseen forces that believed in you from the start. But there's a deeper layer to all of this. Understanding that a vote was cast on your behalf is one thing. Accepting it is another. Many resist this truth because it feels unfair. Why should someone else decide my life? Why didn't I have a voice? These are valid questions, but the answer lies in the nature of divine wisdom. Those who cast the vote saw the full picture. They knew the strength you would need and the gifts you would develop. They saw not just your potential, but the trials that would refine you into the person you were meant to be. Accepting this truth is not about giving up control. It's about trusting that the decisions made long ago were for your ultimate good, even when they seemed unjust. This is a sacred moment where you can choose to embrace what was decided and move forward with clarity and purpose. Once you accept that the vote was part of a divine plan, the next step is to take ownership of what it means for your life. It's time to stop viewing yourself as a passive participant and start stepping into the role you were chosen for. Let go of the resentment, the frustration, the feeling of being a victim. Instead, lean into the strength that has been built within you through every trial, every rejection, and every unseen battle. This is your moment to rise, to reclaim your story, and to walk boldly into your purpose. What you do next is up to you. You can choose to let this truth empower you, to let it drive you forward. The path has been laid before you. Now it's time to walk it with intention, courage, and unwavering faith. So as you continue on this journey, remember that the vote that took place without you wasn't against you. It was for you. It was a recognition of your worth, your potential, and your ability to overcome whatever lies ahead. You are not alone in this process. You have allies, both seen and unseen, who have supported you since the very beginning. Embrace this truth, and let it be the foundation for the next chapter of your life. Comment vote if this resonates with you, and let us know how these words have touched your heart. Heaven defended you. There are moments in life when you felt like the entire world was against you. Every step forward seemed met with resistance, and every effort felt futile. In those times, it was easy to believe that you were completely alone. But what if you weren't? What if, in the unseen realms, a battle was taking place not just against you, but for you? There were forces fighting for your light, for your purpose, and for your ability to rise above every challenge. These moments of inexplicable hope, the times when you somehow found the strength to keep going, were no accident. Heaven was on your side, and its defenders were never silent. They were there when you felt weakest, standing in the gap, ensuring that the darkness never consumed you entirely. Think about the times when life's weight seemed unbearable. The unexpected setbacks, the painful losses, the days you thought you'd never recover. Each of these trials left you questioning your worth and purpose. But then, something shifted, often suddenly and without warning. A phone call from a friend, a kind stranger's word of encouragement, a moment of clarity that made the impossible feel possible again. These weren't random acts of chance. They were glimpses of a deeper truth, a reminder that someone was watching over you. The forces that sought to destroy you were met with fierce resistance, and the allies you didn't know you had were fighting to keep your light from dimming. The scriptures speak of these heavenly defenders, those who stand in the unseen realms to ensure that your path remains clear. Hebrews 1 verse 14 says, "Are not all angels ministering spirits sent to serve those who will inherit salvation?" These are not mere poetic words. They're a declaration that you have never been left to face life's challenges alone. Divine beings saw your potential from the very beginning, long before the trials began. They saw not just your struggles, but the strength within you. Their purpose was to protect that strength, to ensure that you could overcome whatever came your way. These angels, these advocates, are proof that heaven never gave up on you, even in your darkest moments. As you look back on your journey, you'll begin to notice the signs of this protection. Perhaps it was the job opportunity that came just in time, or the person who entered your life with the guidance you desperately needed. Maybe it was the peace that washed over you during a storm of chaos. These were not mere coincidences. They were interventions. These moments of grace served as reminders that you were never abandoned. Heaven's defenders worked behind the scenes to make sure that, no matter how fierce the opposition, you could still find your way. Each sign of hope was a testament to the unseen forces that stood for you, even when you couldn't see them. Heaven's defense is not just about moments of rescue. It's about alignment. These defenders didn't just keep you from falling. They positioned you to rise. They worked to guide your steps so that you could grow, learn, and become the person you were meant to be. Every challenge you faced became an opportunity for growth, a chance to strengthen your faith and resolve. The forces that stood for you didn't only protect you, they elevated you. They helped you see that even the darkest trials have a purpose, and that you have a role to play that no one else can fill. This divine alignment was not a temporary gift. It was a constant presence that continues to shape your path, ensuring that you move ever closer to your destiny. But now, you must embrace the reality of this protection. Knowing that you have defenders is not enough. You must allow that truth to transform you. It's easy to fall back into doubt, to think that the challenges ahead are too great. But remember, you've already faced so much, and each time you were brought back to your feet. Your heavenly advocates didn't fight for you just to see you hesitate now. This is your moment to step fully into the understanding that you are not alone, that you are defended by forces that see your worth and believe in your purpose. Embrace this protection, let it strengthen your resolve, and use it as a foundation to move forward with confidence. Now that you understand how heaven has always stood by you, it's time to act. Let go of the fear and doubt that have held you back. Step forward with the knowledge that you are supported, that your struggles were never a sign of failure, but of preparation. You are not a victim of circumstance. You are the recipient of divine care. Trust in this defense, and know that it was never about preventing challenges, but about ensuring that you would always have the strength to overcome them. This is your moment to embrace your chosen identity and to walk boldly into the purpose that was always meant for you. As you move forward, carry this truth with you. Heaven defended you because it saw your potential. It saw the light within you that no darkness could extinguish. That light is still there, stronger than ever. So, when doubt creeps in, remember those moments of unexplainable hope and know that they were not accidental. Heaven fought for you, and it still does. Comment defended if this resonates with you, and let us know how these words have impacted your journey. Earthly trials were the result. The pain you've experienced, the obstacles you've faced, and the times you felt entirely alone, they weren't meaningless. Each struggle was connected to a greater plan, one set in motion before you even knew who you were. It can be easy to look back on the most challenging moments of your life and feel bitterness or confusion. You may have asked yourself, why me? Why this? But what if those trials were not merely unfortunate events? What if they were deliberate, purposeful, and designed to bring you closer to the person you were always meant to become? These questions, though difficult to confront, point to a truth that runs deeper than the surface-level hardships. When you think about those moments of rejection, those doors that slammed shut just as you thought you were making progress, it's tempting to view them as random acts of fate. The job opportunity that never materialized, the relationships that fell apart, the constant uphill climb, they weren't random. They were part of a pattern. Each struggle you faced was a reflection of the spiritual decisions made long ago. These weren't punishments. They were the building blocks of your character. They taught you endurance, patience, and the ability to trust even when all seemed lost. While they may have felt cruel at the time, each trial held a seed of purpose waiting to be revealed. The scriptures give insight into this process. Romans 8 verse 28 reminds us that, in all things God works for the good of those who love Him, who have been called according to His purpose. This verse doesn't promise a life free of hardship. Instead, it assures us that even our darkest moments are being woven into a greater tapestry of good. The trials you faced were not pointless. They were transformative. The struggles were never about tearing you down permanently. They were about shaping you, refining you, and preparing you for the path you were always meant to walk. These difficulties served as spiritual weights, building your strength for the challenges yet to come. As you've walked this path, you may have noticed subtle shifts in yourself, moments when you felt more resilient than you expected, or when a past hardship gave you insight into how to handle a present difficulty. These aren't coincidences. They're evidence of growth. Every trial you've endured has left its mark, not as a scar of defeat, but as a sign of strength. It's as if the challenges were slowly chipping away at the parts of you that weren't truly you, revealing the core of who you are. This transformation is not just internal. It's visible in the way you approach relationships, work, and even your faith. The trials have been a refining fire, burning away doubt and fear, leaving a version of you that's more confident, more self-aware, and more connected to your divine purpose. You may not have noticed it at first, but these earthly trials have also aligned your life with a higher plan. They've brought certain people into your life and removed others. They've directed you toward opportunities you never would have sought on your own. In hindsight, you may see how these experiences were not random occurrences, but carefully placed markers on your path. Each rejection, each moment of frustration, was a nudge in the right direction. While the struggles felt heavy, they ultimately made way for blessings. The hardships you faced were not barriers. They were the steps you needed to climb to reach a higher perspective. Each trial prepared you to take on new challenges with grace, faith, and unwavering strength. Now comes the time to embrace these trials for what they truly are, gifts in disguise. You have been shaped by them, strengthened by them, and prepared by them. The suffering you endured was not the end of the story. It was the beginning of something greater. By looking at your trials through this lens, you can let go of resentment and self-doubt. You can move forward with the knowledge that you were never abandoned, never truly defeated. Your path has always been guided, and every step, no matter how painful, was part of a divine plan. This shift in perspective changes everything. Instead of feeling weighed down by your past, you'll feel uplifted by the realization that your trials were never in vain. What's next is up to you. Armed with this understanding, you have the opportunity to approach life differently. Instead of fearing new challenges, you can welcome them as opportunities for growth. Instead of doubting your path, you can trust in its direction. Let the struggles you face serve as a reminder that you are stronger than you once believed. Trust that the spiritual forces who watched over you during those trials are still at work, guiding your steps. You don't need to have all the answers. Simply knowing that your trials were purposeful is enough to give you the courage to keep moving forward. With this understanding, you can step boldly into the future, no longer defined by your challenges but empowered by them. So, as you reflect on the earthly trials that brought you here, remember that they were never meant to destroy you. They were meant to shape you into the person you are today. Every tear, every setback, every sleepless night was part of a greater story. They weren't random, they were necessary. The spiritual court saw the potential in you, and it ensured that you would face exactly what you needed to grow into the person you are now. Comment trial if you've ever felt like your challenges had a deeper meaning. Stay with me as we uncover the vote that changed everything. The decision that changed everything. There comes a moment when everything changes. That moment may pass unnoticed at first, a shift deep within the unseen that only becomes clear as time goes on. The final decision was made in the spiritual court, and with it, your destiny was forever altered. In that divine assembly, where both light and darkness deliberated, a vote was cast in your favor. It wasn't a simple decision. It was one that recognized your worth, your purpose, and your potential. From that point onward, you were not just another person going through life's challenges. You were set apart, guarded, and placed on a path that would reveal the depth of your calling. In the days and years that followed, you may have felt the weight of that decision without fully understanding it. Challenges still came, but there was a difference. An unseen force that seemed to steady you even in the hardest times. The decree issued by the spiritual court wasn't about shielding you from all pain or hardship. Instead, it was a promise of protection, a safeguard that ensured no matter how strong the storms were, they would not destroy you. Psalm 91 verse 11 echoes this assurance. For he will command his angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways. That verse isn't just poetic. It's a confirmation that divine hands have been guiding you, unseen but constant, since the moment that final vote was cast. What made this decision so transformative was not just the protection it offered, but the purpose it set before you. Life may still feel unpredictable at times, yet there is a profound sense of direction that emerges as you reflect on your journey. You've begun to notice that the trials and setbacks, while painful, have always carried the seeds of revelation. Every closed door led to a better one opening, and every delay pushed you toward greater understanding. The vote didn't erase the challenges, but it turned them into milestones along the path to your true calling. It gave your struggles meaning, transforming them into opportunities to grow, learn, and step more fully into the life you were meant to live. As the years have passed, signs of this divine alignment have become clearer. You've seen moments of unexpected grace, help arriving just when it was needed, and a steady stream of guidance that often came without you asking. These experiences weren't just random acts of kindness or coincidences. They were direct outcomes of that one critical decision, proof that the unseen forces that cast their vote in your favor never stopped working on your behalf. Like the gentle current of a river, they've carried you forward, redirecting you when needed and reminding you of the deeper purpose that has always been there. The decision that changed everything wasn't just about what happens to you, it was about what happens within you. With each passing year, you've become more aware of your unique role in this larger spiritual narrative. There's a growing clarity that you are not simply a participant in life's events, but a co-creator of your path. The spiritual court's final decree set the foundation, but it's your choices, your faith, and your willingness to follow the signs that bring this decision to life. You may have resisted at times, doubted your worth, or questioned the journey, but the deeper truth remains. You were chosen, and in being chosen, you were given the strength to rise above every obstacle, the vision to see what others might miss, and the courage to move forward even when the way seemed unclear. Now is the time to embrace this truth more fully. The decision that changed everything wasn't made so that you would live in fear or hesitation. It was made to remind you of the power, purpose, and light within you. Trust in the protection that has always surrounded you. Trust in the purpose that continues to unfold before you. No matter how difficult the road may seem at times, remember that you have been set apart, not just for the challenges but for the victories that come with them. With each step, you grow closer to becoming the person you were always meant to be, a person whose life radiates the truth that was established in that divine court. As you reflect on this journey, Let it inspire you to move forward with confidence. You are not here by accident. That decision made long ago continues to ripple through every aspect of your life, shaping you into someone who can not only endure but thrive. So, let go of any lingering doubt. Step boldly into the path that has been prepared for you. This is your moment to affirm what has been true all along. Say it to yourself, I am chosen. When you truly believe it, you'll find that the path ahead becomes clearer, the challenges become more manageable, and the sense of purpose that has always been within you becomes undeniable. Comment I am chosen if this resonates with you, and let the truth of this decision transform how you see yourself, your journey, and your incredible potential.